Welcome to Forbidden Texts. What you are about to see may shock you. It may surprise you, but will definitely challenge everything you thought you knew. Stick around until the end to discover the forbidden knowledge that they don't want you to have.
They don't want you to know this. Everything you've been told about reality, about energy, about how you feel on a daily basis, has been carefully engineered to keep you stuck, to keep you weak. You wake up, check your phone, scroll through endless negativity, consume food stripped of life force, and wonder why you feel drained, anxious, disconnected. It's not an accident. This is by design. But what if you could break free? What if there was a way to shift your entire state of being, tap into a frequency so powerful that it could change your life, your mind, even your biology? This is what high vibration states are all about. And the people in power, they don't want you anywhere near this knowledge. Welcome to Forbidden Texts, where we explore ancient knowledge and forgotten wisdom. For centuries, those who understood vibration, the real architects of reality, held knowledge so powerful that it was hidden, banned, and ridiculed. The truth is, your emotions, your thoughts, even your physical health are dictated by one thing: frequency. And once you know how to control it, you're no longer under their control. But the modern world is rigged against you. There's a reason why mainstream science rarely talks about frequency in the way ancient civilizations did. There's a reason why stress, fear, and distraction are constantly injected into your daily life. The higher your vibration, the less control they have over you. By the end of this documentary, you'll understand exactly how to shift your vibration, why it's been hidden, and most importantly, how to take back the power that's been kept from you. But first, we need to understand the science behind it all. Everything in existence, your body, your thoughts, even the device you're watching this on, is vibrating. Science has known this for over a century, yet most people go through life completely unaware of the frequencies shaping their reality. And that's exactly how they want it. Modern physics tells us that at a fundamental level, matter isn't solid. It's energy, vibrating at different frequencies, forming the illusion of physical reality. The table in front of you, the chair you're sitting on, they feel solid, but zoom in far enough, and they're just waves of energy. You, too, are a field of vibrating energy, constantly interacting with the world around you. Here's where it gets interesting. Your emotions and thoughts are frequencies too. Anger, fear, and shame, low vibrations. Love, joy, and gratitude, high vibrations. These aren't just abstract concepts. Scientists like Dr. David Hawkins have measured these emotional states in terms of frequency. Lower vibrations create chaos in your body, weaken your immune system, and keep you in survival mode. High vibrations heal, empower, and expand consciousness. And then there's the Earth itself. The planet has a natural frequency known as the Schumann resonance, a heartbeat of 783 hertz. Ancient civilizations understood this frequency and designed their temples, their rituals, even their daily lives around it. Why? Because when human consciousness aligns with the natural resonance of the planet, incredible things happen. Clarity, intuition, and even heightened states of awareness become possible. But the world you live in today, it's designed to pull you away from this frequency, to keep you vibrating low, to keep you sick, distracted, and disconnected from the power that comes with high vibration states. This isn't speculation. It's physics. And the more you understand it, the more you start to see the system for what it really is. But it goes even deeper. Because once you understand the difference between high and low vibration states, you'll realize that the way society is structured isn't random, it's intentional. Not all vibrations are created equal. Some empower you, others keep you trapped. And once you understand the difference, you'll start to see the world for what it really is, a system designed to keep you operating at a low frequency. High vibration states are expansive. They elevate your thinking, your emotions, your body. They put you in flow, where opportunities seem to find you, where your intuition sharpens, where life itself feels like it's working with you instead of against you. Love, joy, peace, these aren't just emotions. They are energy states with measurable frequencies that restructure your very biology. When you operate at a high vibration, your body heals faster, your mind clears, and your connection to the world around you deepens. Now compare that to low vibration states: fear, anger, shame, stress. These frequencies don't just feel bad. They actively suppress your immune system, cloud your thinking, and trap you in cycles of negativity. They keep you reactive, anxious, and disconnected from your own potential. And if you've ever wondered why society seems to run on stress, fear, and outrage, now you know. Think about it. The constant stream of negative news, the pressure to conform, the daily bombardment of stress-inducing narratives. It's not an accident. It's not random. It's engineered. A society vibrating in fear is a society that's easy to control. A society that's too distracted to ask the real questions. And here's the part they really don't want you to know. When you shift your vibration, you opt out of their system. You stop reacting. You stop feeding the fear. And when enough people do this, the entire structure begins to collapse. But there's something even more important to understand. This knowledge isn't new. It's ancient. And those who came before us knew it so well that they built their entire civilizations around it. So why was this knowledge buried? Who made the decision to erase it from history? And more importantly, why? There was a time when this knowledge wasn't hidden. A time when entire civilizations understood the power of vibration, not just as an abstract concept, but as the foundation of reality itself. The pyramids, the temples, the sacred sites scattered across the globe, they weren't just places of worship. They were frequency modulators, built with precise mathematical ratios that aligned with the natural harmonics of the earth. The ancient Egyptians, the Sumerians, the Mayans, even the lost civilizations we barely know about, they all understood something modern science is only beginning to rediscover. Vibration isn't just a force, it's the key to everything. They used it to heal, to expand consciousness, even to build structures that defy modern explanation. And then, suddenly, this knowledge disappeared. Or more accurately, it was erased. Enter Nikola Tesla, the man who cracked the code, who understood that if you want to unlock the secrets of the universe, you need to think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Tesla's discoveries could have revolutionized the world. Free energy, wireless power, technologies that would have made scarcity a thing of the past. But instead of being celebrated, he was shut down, his funding cut, his research stolen. And by the time he died, alone and penniless in a hotel room, the world had all but forgotten him. Why? Because Tesla's work threatened the system. If energy was free, if vibration could heal, if the very fabric of reality could be manipulated through frequency, then what happens to the industries built on control? The pharmaceutical giants, the energy monopolies, the governments that thrive on dependence, they lose everything. So the knowledge was buried, branded as pseudoscience. Replace with a world where people are taught that reality is fixed, that consciousness is an illusion, that the only solutions come in the form of a pill, a paycheck, or a political system. But here's the thing, they couldn't erase it completely. The evidence is still there, hidden in plain sight, waiting for those willing to look deeper. The question is, are you? Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. And once you understand how vibration has been suppressed, you'll start to see the ways your own frequency is being manipulated every single day. Look around you. The modern world is not designed for your well-being. It's designed to keep you in a low vibration state, to keep you exhausted, distracted, dependent. And the most effective way they do this, through what you consume. Start with food. The very thing meant to nourish you has been stripped of its life force. Processed, chemically altered, injected with preservatives that extend shelf life but shorten yours. Ever wonder why ancient cultures placed so much importance on food rituals, fasting, and consuming raw, natural ingredients? Because food isn't just fuel, it's frequency. The closer it is to its natural state, the higher its vibration. But what do we have today? A food system designed for mass production, not human vitality. Fast food, genetically modified crops, artificial ingredients, each one dulling your energy, keeping you sluggish, keeping you manageable. And then there's water, the one thing you literally can't live without. Fluoride, chlorine, microplastics. It's not just contamination, it's suppression. Pure, structured water has a high vibrational state, capable of carrying energy and information. But the water you drink, it's been stripped of that natural structure. Coincidence? Or another way to ensure that the very thing you depend on keeps you operating at a lower frequency. But the biggest weapon, your mind. Turn on the news. Scroll through social media. Everywhere you look, it's the same thing: fear, division, outrage. A constant stream of negativity designed to keep you in a reactive, low-frequency state. Because when you're afraid, you're not thinking clearly. When you're angry, you're not creating. When you're focused on external chaos, you're not looking inward, where real transformation happens. And then there's technology. The screens you stare at all day, the EMFs surrounding you 24/7. The human body is an electrical system. Your brain, a receiver. Your heart, a generator. And yet, you're constantly bombarded with artificial frequencies, Wi-Fi signals, radio waves, all interfering with your natural energetic state. Do you really think that's an accident? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Everything around you has been carefully designed to keep you at a lower vibration. To keep you tired, stressed, dependent on external solutions. Because the moment you take control of your own energy, you become something they can't manipulate. But what if you could shift? What if you could break free from the system that's been rigged against you? You can. And it starts by reclaiming your vibration. The question is, are you ready? Because once you step into a high vibration state, you don't just feel better. You change everything. The system is built to keep you weak. But the truth is, you were never meant to live in a constant state of stress, fear, and exhaustion. Your natural state, your real state, is one of high vibration. The moment you reclaim it, you change the game. So how do you do it? How do you break free from the engineered chaos and raise your vibration back to where it was always meant to be? Start with your breath. It's the first thing you do when you enter this world, and the last thing you do before you leave. Yet most people go their entire lives barely aware of it. Shallow, unconscious breathing keeps you locked in survival mode, triggering stress responses that keep your vibration low. But conscious breathing, deep, intentional, rhythmic, changes everything. Practices like diaphragmatic breathing, breath holds, and ancient pranayama techniques don't just relax you. They reset your frequency, flood your body with oxygen, and activate the very parts of your brain designed for higher awareness. And then there's sound. Everything in existence has a frequency, including you. Certain sounds, certain vibrations, can shift your entire state of being in seconds. Solfeggio frequencies, binaural beats, chanting, these aren't just New Age concepts. They're ancient technologies used in temples, cathedrals, and sacred sites for a reason. Because sound isn't just heard, it's felt. It restructures water. And considering your body is mostly water, that means it restructures you. But it's not just about what you hear, it's about what you consume. The food you eat either raises or lowers your vibration. Fresh, organic, high energy foods, fruits, vegetables, natural fats amplify your energy field. Processed, synthetic, chemically altered foods, they pull you down. It's that simple. The world's oldest cultures knew this. That's why fasting, mindful eating, and food preparation were treated as sacred acts. Because food isn't just nutrition, it's energy. And if you're eating dead, artificial food, how do you think that affects your frequency? And then, the most powerful shift of all, your thoughts. Your mind is an energetic transmitter. Every thought you have carries a frequency. Fear, resentment, self-doubt, low vibration. Gratitude, love, confidence, high vibration. You've been programmed since birth to focus on fear, to expect struggle, to stay small. But the moment you shift your mindset, the moment you start choosing thoughts that expand rather than contract, your entire reality begins to shift with you. This is why meditation, visualization, and subconscious reprogramming aren't just wellness trends. They are tools for reclaiming your vibrational state. They are how you override the programming, take back control, and start living in a frequency where everything, your health, your mind, your experiences, begin to align in ways you never thought possible. This is what they don't want you to know. Because when you raise your vibration, you stop playing their game. You stop feeding into fear. You stop needing their systems. And the higher you rise, the more you start to see just how deep this control runs. Because a high vibration population is the one thing the system can't control. And that's why the resistance against it is stronger than ever. You weren't meant to be trapped in stress, fear, or exhaustion.
A quick message. This space has become something truly special for many of us. A community of people on a shared journey of spiritual growth, healing, and awakening. Your comments and stories inspire me every day, and it's clear there's so much more we can create together, especially since this path can feel lonely at times. That's why we've created a spiritual space on Patreon, a sanctuary for deeper connection, exclusive content, and meaningful conversations with others from this channel who share your journey. Together, we can build something uplifting, authentic, and spiritually powerful. If this resonates with you and you'd like to be part of something bigger, whatever you're going through, you'll find the link in the description or pinned in the comments. Your membership not only helps support the channel, but also helps grow this beautiful community. Let's create something amazing together.
You were designed to live in a constant state of survival. But that's exactly where they want you. Because a person who's struggling to get through the day is a person who isn't questioning the system. And make no mistake, there is a system. One that profits from your low vibration. One that ensures you stay disconnected from the power you truly have. But the moment you begin to break free, the resistance begins. Look at how the world reacts to anything that challenges the status quo. Energy healing, labeled as pseudoscience. Meditation, mocked as spiritual fluff. Ancient knowledge on vibration and frequency, rewritten, distorted, erased. The very things that could help you reclaim your power are the things they work the hardest to suppress. Take natural healing, for example. Long before pharmaceuticals, people understood that the body heals itself when given the right conditions. Herbal medicine, frequency-based therapies, fasting, these were the norm for centuries. But today, try talking about alternative healing and watch how quickly people shut down. Watch how fast it's dismissed as unscientific, even when modern studies are proving what ancient cultures already knew. Why? Because a sick, dependent population is a profitable one. And it's not just physical health, it's mental, emotional, and spiritual health, too. Society is engineered to keep you distracted. Because when you're constantly bombarded with stress, with fear-based narratives, with endless scrolling and digital noise, you don't have time to think, to reflect, to elevate. And then there's censorship. You think it's a coincidence that information about energy, frequency, and vibration is hard to find, that accounts and researchers discussing these topics get suppressed, deplatformed, and ridiculed. The moment you start exploring these ideas, the system fights back. Because once people start waking up, once they start realizing they don't have to live in stress, fear, or dependency, the illusion starts to crack. But here's where it gets interesting. The system only works if you comply. It only works if you stay in the frequency they've designed for you. The second you step out of it, the second you stop playing by their rules, their control weakens. That's the real secret. They don't have power over you. They never did. The only thing they control is the illusion, the belief that you need them, that you're powerless without them. But that belief, it only holds as long as you accept it. And this is why high vibration states matter. Because when you raise your frequency, you see the game. You see through the fear, the manipulation, the distractions. And most importantly, you realize you were never trapped to begin with. But here's the question. What happens next? What happens when enough people wake up? Because the shift isn't just coming. It's already happening. And for those who choose to step into their highest frequency, the future looks very, very different. Something is happening. You can feel it. More and more people are waking up, stepping out of the low vibration trap that's been engineered for them. The cracks in the system are showing. The old ways of control, fear, division, dependency are losing their grip. And the people in power, they know it. For the first time in history, knowledge that was once hidden is being rediscovered. Science is catching up with what ancient civilizations always understood. Studies on meditation, on frequency healing, on the power of the mind are proving what was dismissed as superstition for centuries. The human body is more than biology. It's energy. Consciousness isn't just thought, it's vibration. And those who learn to master their frequency aren't just improving their lives, they're reshaping reality itself. This is the real Great Awakening. Not a political movement, not a conspiracy, but a vibrational shift. A shift that's happening whether the system wants it to or not. Think about it. Why is there such an aggressive push for control right now? Why the constant distractions, the fear, mongering, the non-stop crises designed to keep people in survival mode? It's not because the system is strong. It's because it's weak. The tighter they squeeze, the more obvious the illusion becomes. The more they try to suppress the truth, the more people start searching for it. And here's the part they really don't want you to know. When you raise your vibration, you don't just free yourself, you create a ripple effect. Your energy influences everything around you. It shifts the people you interact with, the situations you attract, the reality you experience. And when enough people make this shift, the old system collapses under its own weight. This isn't some abstract theory. It's happening now. You see it in people rejecting the fear-based narratives. You see it in the resurgence of ancient healing practices. You see it in the growing awareness that there's more to reality than what we've been told. The future isn't something you wait for, it's something you create. And the key to creating it: frequency, vibration, energy. The question isn't whether the shift is real. The question is whether you're going to be part of it. Whether you'll stay locked in the fear, the doubt, the low vibration state designed to keep you in line, or whether you'll break free and step into something higher. You've seen the patterns. You know the game. The only thing left to decide is this: will you keep playing by their rules, or will you rise above the system, reclaim your frequency, and become the force they never wanted you to be? Because the moment you do, the game is over. You were never meant to live small. You were never meant to be another cog in the system, running on autopilot, drained, distracted, disconnected from your own power. But that's exactly what they designed this world to do: keep you just comfortable enough to stay compliant, but never so aware that you wake up and see the truth. But now, you know that your vibration isn't just a personal state, it's the foundation of your reality. You know that the constant bombardment of stress, fear, and negativity isn't random. It's intentional. You know that everything, from the food you eat to the media you consume to the very technology surrounding you, has been designed to keep your frequency low. And most importantly, you now understand that you can break free. Because this system, this illusion, only works if you allow it to. It only functions if you remain trapped in the belief that you are powerless. But the second you step into your highest vibration, the second you begin to live in a state of expansion rather than contraction, the illusion crumbles. You felt glimpses of it before, that moment when everything just flows, when synchronicities appear, when you feel fully alive, fully present. That's not an accident. That's your natural state. And the more you align with it, the more you realize how much of your life has been dictated by external forces designed to pull you away from it. But here's the truth they don't want you to understand. Once you raise your vibration, you become untouchable. Fear no longer controls you. Stress no longer drains you. You no longer feed into their narratives, their distractions, their engineered chaos. You become a creator rather than a consumer, a force rather than a follower. And when enough people reach this state, the world itself begins to shift. This is the real revolution. Not a battle fought on the streets, not a war of ideologies, but an energetic uprising. A shift so powerful that it renders the old systems obsolete. They can't control a world that vibrates at a higher frequency. They can't manipulate a consciousness that refuses to live in fear. And that's why this knowledge was buried. That's why this information was ridiculed, suppressed, and hidden in plain sight. Because those in power knew the greatest secret of all: the second you reclaim your vibration, you reclaim everything. So now, you have a choice. You can return to the programmed reality, the distractions, the fear, the limitation. Or you can step fully into your power, into the vibration that has always been waiting for you. The system doesn't collapse when you fight it. It collapses when you stop feeding it. Now that you know the truth, what will you do with it? You've reached the point where there's no going back. You see it now. The patterns, the manipulation, the invisible mechanisms that have kept you locked in a low vibration state for so long. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's the moment they fear the most. Because a person who is aware of their own frequency, who understands their own energy, is impossible to control. You don't need their fear-based narratives. You don't need their distractions. You don't need their systems of dependency. When you raise your vibration, you step outside of their game entirely. And that's when the real transformation begins. You start noticing the shift almost immediately. The way your thoughts shape your reality. The way certain foods, certain environments, certain people either elevate you or drain you. The way fear-based programming no longer sticks the way it used to. The more you align with higher frequencies, love, gratitude, clarity, expansion, the more your external world begins to reflect it. Opportunities appear. The right people enter your life. Situations that once seemed impossible suddenly unfold effortlessly. This isn't magic. This isn't coincidence. This is vibration at work. But here's the part no one tells you. When you raise your vibration, you will meet resistance. Not just from the world around you, but from within. The old programming, the limiting beliefs, the deeply ingrained fears, they don't just disappear overnight. They push back. They try to pull you back into old cycles. The system itself will try to pull you back, too, through fear, through distraction, through the voices of those still trapped in low-frequency thinking. This is where most people give up. They feel the resistance and think something is wrong. But the truth is, resistance is proof that you're breaking free. And if you push through it, if you stay aligned, if you keep choosing high vibration states over low ones, you move into a completely new reality. One where you're no longer a product of the system, but a creator of your own experience. This is the final truth they don't want you to understand. You are infinitely more powerful than you've been led to believe. You don't have to wait for permission to change your vibration. You don't need approval to step into your full energetic potential. The power has been within you all along. And now that you know, the only thing left to do is use it. Because the future doesn't belong to those who live in fear. It belongs to those who rise above it. And that's the real secret. Not some conspiracy, not some hidden knowledge reserved for the elite. Just a simple, undeniable truth. You were never meant to live in fear. The entire system, the one that governs your thoughts, your habits, your very perception of reality, only works if you believe in its limits. If you believe you are weak, if you believe you are powerless, if you believe you have no control over your life, that belief is the cage. But here's what they never told you. The lock was never real. The moment you decide to step out of low vibration states, the entire illusion begins to fall apart. The fear no longer makes sense. The stress no longer controls you. The distractions no longer have the same pull. And when enough people reach that point, when enough people step into their full vibrational power, the system has nothing left to stand on. That's why this information has been ridiculed. That's why high vibration states have been suppressed, labeled as nonsense, mocked by the very institutions that profit from your suffering. Because a population that understands the power of frequency is a population that no longer needs external control. The final test, action. Because knowing isn't enough. You have to use this. You have to make the shift. Every thought you choose, every food you consume, every environment you expose yourself to, it all feeds into your vibrational state. And the more conscious you become, the more control you take back. No more waiting. No more asking for permission. No more playing by their rules. This is your wake-up call. Raise your frequency. Take back your power. And become the force they never wanted you to be. The moment you shift, everything changes. Not just your mindset. Not just your emotions. Your entire reality begins to bend around your vibration. Because this isn't just about feeling better. This isn't just about positive thinking. This is about reclaiming the most fundamental force in existence. energy. They taught you that life is random, that things just happen to you, that success, health, love, and abundance are things you have to chase, struggle for, earn. But the truth, these things have always been frequencies, and you were meant to align with them effortlessly. The world doesn't happen to you. It responds to you. When you vibrate in fear, fear-based experiences flood your life. When you vibrate in stress, chaos follows you everywhere. But when you raise your frequency, when you shift into higher states, everything starts to flow. People will call it luck. They'll say you changed. They'll tell you it's unrealistic, that life doesn't work that way. And that's exactly how you'll know you're on the right path. Because the system conditioned them to reject this knowledge, to scoff at the idea that vibration, not effort, is the key. But what they believe doesn't matter. What matters is whether you take the step, whether you choose to exit the low vibration trap, whether you decide right now that you will no longer live under the illusion of struggle, scarcity, or limitation. Because the moment you do, the system loses its grip. Your mind clears. Your energy expands. And suddenly, everything they said was impossible starts to feel inevitable. You were never powerless. You were never meant to stay small. And now that you know the truth, there's only one thing left to do. Rise,